The government and the private sector must continue to work together in achieving sustainable development goals. That's according to the Minister in the Presidency for Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, Maropene Ramokgopa. She just received a report from the private sector on what should be prioritised. SABC News reporter Khayelihle Khumalo has more.
This is all about eradication of poverty, issues around environmental degradation, and a host of other issues as well. But joining us now is Minister Ramokgopa, really just to reflect on South Africa's journey. We know that 2030, it's a few years to go, Minister. So far, how are we doing as a country?
As you have already seen, and I've said it, I'll start first globally. Globally, I think we have reached less than 20%, probably 12% or so, of reaching our SDGs. So as a result, it would then now mean that even as South Africa, we're not doing so well. However, as you could have seen in the presentation itself, we have improved on some aspects, most especially as it relates to climate change and investing in small businesses that would allow us to be able to reach that. Also in the mining sector, in terms of the climate change as well, they have been able to do a lot as it relates to that. So there are a lot of things that are actually improving, but we still have a long way to go. But what is good is that this is our second VNR. The first one was in 2019. We're doing another one this year. It means that we are definitely moving towards improving ourselves, because if you can account, it means you can be able to measure yourself and come up with ways that would allow you to move forward.
Minister, the significance of the synergy between the government and the private sector, what does it mean in terms of achieving all these aspirations, especially because the private sector, they say they want to be a catalyst in terms of their role, in terms of sustainable investment, in terms of the creation of decent jobs, among other things?
We will not be able to do it alone as government. As you know, we can only be able to create an enabling environment for investment to come, but people who would literally be able to create jobs and assist us to reduce poverty and partner with us as we also speak to the issues of building a capable state. We have seen what we have been able to do with private sector as it relates to Eskom. If it wasn't of the role of private sector assisting us to be able to bring us relevant skills to help us to do what we did, we probably wouldn't have been able to do better. So as it relates to all the three priorities of government, definitely having partnerships with private sector is going to really be key.
Minister, all of this comes as we await keenly for the UN General Assembly, the Summit for the Future. There's quite a lot at stake, and also looking really just the role that South Africa plays. I mean, you spoke about peacekeeping mission in the region, in the DRC, many other areas, promotion of intra-Africa trade, a very critical element when you talk about boosting trade as part of creating those jobs. I mean, surely this is a very important time in terms of really making sure that you're able to achieve all these aspirations.
It is definitely important, and we couldn't be much more even excited, because as the Government of National Unity, we have agreed on a medium-term development plan that all of us are committed to, meaning that we are going to work as one to ensure that as we prepare to making sure that we as South Africa do play a role in Africa, and do play a role not only in being seen, but as you rightfully said, in making sure that our foreign policy of human rights is actually being seen in what we do in terms of peacekeeping missions, and also not only taking physical soldiers, but also ensuring that we do participate a lot in mediation as well. We have seen what we have been able to do in most countries, and what we are currently doing not only in Africa but globally in terms of mediation. But we are also going to make sure that as it relates to the African Free Trade Area, which is now led by a South African, meaning that the founding Secretary General is a South African, we have played a big role in ensuring that we give it a shape that would then now assist us to do what we need to do as it relates to intra-trade, and making sure that trade within all African countries does help each and every country. It's not only going to be seen in one country.
All right, Minister, we're going to release you now. Thank you so much indeed for your time. Of course, Minister Ramokgopa, really talking about the importance of today, looking at the role played by the private sector in as far as the SDGs are concerned, as we know that the time is running out in terms of making sure that the implementation phase is really accelerated. Khayelihle Khumalo, SABC News, Johannesburg.